Well, I got to admit, I wasn't ready for that for that Christmas jingle to come in there. Has that finished? 1 minute. Let me have a look. That has finished, isn't it? Terry Turner, he looks after all the technical the program playout system, really. I mean, he set it all up for me and all that, and he shoved that there in, and I wasn't expecting. Well, I won't have to play my own ones now, then, will I? Oh, I've got to still play mine. Just a minute. No, I know. I won't bother then. Thank you very much, Terry. I haven't got to do anything now. But I'm sort of surplus to requirements, really, aren't I? A very good afternoon to you. It's just gone 4 minutes past 3. This is Chris Reardon with you on United Kingdom Radio. All right. Very pleased to say I am at last getting on with my new iPhone. Yes, I received an iPhone on... when was it now? Wednesday, after much trouble with delivery people and all that. I mean, if you missed Wednesday's show, you want to hear about that. A lot of mucking about I had with delivery people that told me they'd knock on the door when they didn't. Anyway, if you want to hear about that, that's in the last show, dated Thursday the 2nd of December. You can find that by going to United Kingdom Talk. .co.uk if you missed that on Thursday. Okay, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. My problems with the delivery. Anyway, it came eventually, I must admit. And do you know what? I think I'm getting to the point now where I don't want to learn how to use a new gadget. Do you understand what I'm saying? Of course, people who are young and tiny and all that, people who are young and wonderful, as I think I still am, don't mind picking up a new gadget and learning how to work it, and it's all part of the fun. For me, I hate it. I hate it. And I gotta say to you, until Friday morning, no, until yesterday afternoon, I was just about ready to send this iPhone back. Seriously. Now, I have had a Nokia for years. I mean, 20 years I've had a Nokia, except for a few years ago, where I thought I'd try a Samsung. Huge mistake. Huge mistake. I just could not get on with this phone. Because they all work differently, don't they, these mobile phones? And if you stay with one brand, the operating, well, the way it works, tends to, I think, tends to carry on working. You know, it changes slightly, but not too much. You know what I'm saying? So for years I had a Nokia, then I had a Samsung. I just could not get on with that at all. I thought the signal was rubbish and all that and the other. So I then went back to a Nokia. So really, this is the only non-Nokia phone that I've had. It's the Apple iPhone 4. Got it on Wednesday, played with it Wednesday, Thursday, and part of Friday. And I've got to say, you know, Friday afternoon, I was going down the shop to say, well, I've got until tomorrow to decide, because the mobile phone company I'm with, Orange, will allow you to keep a phone for 7 days. If before that period is up, you decide you don't want it for whatever reason, you send it back and you get a different thing. Okay? So I was all ready to do that. But my friend Ronnie, my best friend Ronnie, he came down to one of the pubs I work on Thursday night in Clapham. And he says, I'll come down and show you how to do some things. So I'm okay. So he's picked up the phone and he's showing me, right, this is what you do. And his fingers, I mean, he's not much, he's about 10 years younger than me. He's 37. His fingers are moving so quickly over this phone. I'm saying, will you slow down? Oh, I'm sorry. And... when it gets to bits of equipment that I can't, I get angry. I don't know why. I just get angry. You know? Years ago, you would buy, I don't know, a television. Take a television. Now, how complicated are they to work now? Televisions. You would buy a television and you would turn it on or off by one button, change the channels on another couple of buttons, and turn the volume up with another button. Okay? It was so simple. If you had to make any adjustments, that was fairly simple as well. Now, everything is driven by a menu. Hit start, options, and what a lot of mucking about, for God's sake. And I'm getting fed up with it. Really fed up, trying to keep up with technology. And really, that's the only reason I bought this iPhone. Right? because I'm trying to keep up with technology. I don't think it's good to be left behind. On the other hand, how much longer do I want to keep buying things? I mean, don't get me wrong here. I don't upgrade for the sake of it. I don't buy the next thing just because it's come out. I'll get the next thing when the old one has nearly worn out, or it's time for a free upgrade, which was the case here. But I don't know how much longer I can keep. I want to keep moving on with everything. It annoys me. It annoys me to hold such, let's be honest, you know, the iPhone 4. It annoys me to be able to hold such a marvellous piece of engineering in my hand and not be able to work it properly. And Ronnie was teaching me some stuff on Thursday, and it was going so quick. And then I just started getting angry. And he said, "Oh, you're getting angry with me?" I said, "Yes, you must slow down. His fingers all over the place like that, you know, so quick." And anyway, so we did a few bits and pieces, downloaded a couple of the applications on here. I've only got a couple of things that I've put in here. I've put one of those pin passcodes on the front. Let me see what the application. The only ones I just downloaded Facebook and Skype. That's all I downloaded. Very good indeed. Bought myself a little rubber case for it. Okay, what goes around the outside. And on the front, I got this bit of plastic called a screensaver. Now, has anyone got an iPhone and has got one of those bits of screensaver plastic things on there? Has anyone got one of those? Because I tell you, how on earth do you get it on without getting those blooming little bubbles underneath it? You know what I mean, don't you? It's full of bubbles. Full of bubbles. You can watch as well as listen to this programme. All right, if you're watching the show, I'm holding the phone up to the camera now, and you can see little bubbles. You can actually see little bubbles there. But it's basically just a piece of plastic that you stick onto the front of the phone, and you can't put it on without getting bubbles. And I've got these bubbles in there, and I can't push them out. They won't be pushed out. £2 that cost, that bit of plastic, and they got the audacity to charge £2 for a bit of plastic. It's a liberty, that's what it is. Mark in Bristol. Hello, Mark. It's been a while since you were there, my mate. He says, "Chris, I forget about the new stuff. I'm still getting used to the old." Well, that's it. You see, something comes up. The annoying thing is, it's all menu-driven. When you used to buy new stuff in the 70s or the 80s, before the advent of computers, you had set buttons to do set things. Volume control, on-off button, tuning control. Now it's all these little buttons, menu-driven, go to this, go to that, and I just find it so annoying. I really do. Anyway, it got to yesterday afternoon, while I was walking down into the shopping centre here in Bracknell, where I live. And I got there and I thought, no, I'm going to persevere with this. I'm going to keep trying with this. Because one of the other things I found great difficulty in doing, which was easy with my Nokia, was giving each person their individual ringtone. I know that may sound a little bit silly to you, but I like to have everyone with their, well, at least, you know, the people that call regularly, ring me regularly, they have their own ringtone. My best friend Ron is known for being a bit up his own arse. He really is. Walks around thinking he's better than everyone else. So I've given him the ringtone Dynasty. You know the one. Da, 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 that one, yeah? Another friend of mine, Wayne, my friend Wayne, who used to be a butler, he has the ringtone upstairs, downstairs. Da, 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 and so on and so forth. Now, with the Nokia, this was very easy. You just put your music on the phone, and if you wanted a certain tune attached to a certain person, you simply said, yes, use this one, and that's it. Not so with the Apple. You have to first convert the tune with a converter, which I've actually found, and I'll give you the information here. If you can actually make your own ring tunes for the Apple iPhone, right? Let me see if I can find this for you. Now, there is a hard way to do this, and there is a very easy way to do this, and it's all online, and it's all free. Now, I can't find it. I can't find the damn bit of paper now, can I? Hang on a minute. Let me look it up on my because I did put it on my Facebook. So if I find it there, now get yourself a pen, and I'll give you this little bit of information here. There we are. www.mobilespin. That's mobilespin.net. Okay, www.mobilespin.net. Have a look on there if you've got an iPhone and you want to make your own ringtones, and it's fairly easy. You'll see two boxes. The top box, the top large box with a picture of a phone in it and a green arrow going round it. It says make your own free ringtones. If you just click on ringtone, okay, and then you'll see two other boxes, create a ringtone from your audio file. Click the browse button, upload a little file to it, and follow the instructions. And it's actually quite easy. It is actually quite easy. All right? Once you know how, that's what I'm saying. So I have managed now to make my own ringtones. But it seems a long-winded way about it, really, that you have to do all this converting. Whereas with the Nokia, you simply chose a tune that was already in the phone. Or, you know, you put a tune into the phone and you selected that to be someone's ringtone. So a lot easier. With the iPhone also, I did find difficulty. I do have iTunes, but getting all the preferences and the settings correct, it's a real minefield. And fortunately, because the phone has been out for a couple of years now, there are people around to help you. Everyone knows someone with an iPhone who's probably been through what I've been through, or they're probably more cleverer than me, who has probably been through what I've been through to try and get this iPhone up and running. So that's it. So there we are. Getting on all right with it now, I've got to admit. I've managed to put my photos on there. I've managed to put podcasts on there that I like to listen to. And the sort of thing like Dr. Carl on Triple J. In Australia, he does this science program, podcast type thing. I like listening to that, and all sorts of other little bits and pieces. Some of the other presenters here on United Kingdom Radio. And that's what I have on my iPhone. And that's it. So, all right, just to let you know, getting on okay with it now. Just. It does annoy me, though. You know, people... Now, Lee Mills, who does a show here on United Kingdom Radio, he came out with that old classic. You know, when you buy something new, they go, oh, what did you get that for? You should have got the... Why do they do that? Are they jealous? Is it a jealous thing? Oh, why did you get that? You should have got... It's always the same, isn't it, lads? When you buy something and you tell someone about it, they always say, oh, why did you buy that? You should have got this. No, I shouldn't. No, I shouldn't. I don't want a BlackBerry. Thank you very much. I don't... Lee Mills, he says to me on the phone, he says to me, oh, why didn't you get a BlackBerry? Oh, we could... What's the word? We could ping each other then. Why, oh, why... would I want to sit there all day long pinging people? It's a bit like that poke thing on Facebook, isn't it? Daniel's the latest one who's been poking me on Facebook. What's all that about, eh? Poking you on Facebook. If I went and wanted a good poking, I'll go to Chariots. We don't need to be poked all the time, thank you very much. Okay? Forget the poking. By the way, I've got Facebook. My Facebook username, if you want to join me on there, is Chris Reardon UK. All right, Facebook username, Chris Reardon UK. All this poking. So I don't want to be pinging people on BlackBerry and all that business. They sit and they think they're so superior, these people with BlackBerries. Have you seen them sitting in pubs, tapping away on a little QWERTY keyboard at the bottom? They do it while I'm playing my disco music. If I'm doing a karaoke night, or like tonight where I'm DJing at Belushi's in Hammersmith, I'm DJing there tonight, and I will guarantee there'll be 10 or 20 people I will see throughout the night on the dance floor texting their friends. Or I love that one, when you see them try and make a phone call from the dance floor. I purposely, whenever I see that, I turn the music up. so that they can't. They'll have to disappear into the toilets, don't they? Awful, awful. Mark says, hello, Mark. Hello, going, Mark. Mark's in Bristol. He says, I hated the iPhone. I had one and sent it back. Isn't that funny? They're big, aren't they? Aren't they big old beasts, these iPhones? He says, I love my Nokia. Lee Mills is so far up his arse he needs another studio to fill it with donkeys. Is that right, Mark? Oh, not so much for me. Believe me, Mark, I'm in the gutter and I intend to stay there every last minute of my life. I love the gutter. Don't anyone ever try and drag me up into any of those awful posh restaurants or designer clothes. I'm not interested. I'm quite happy in the gutter. Thank you very much. Now, there's an email address to the show. Whether you're watching live, listening live, or indeed watching or listening to a recording, you can join in by email. The email address for this particular show is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, are you with us live? That's the question. Have a look at your clock. If it's 20 past 3, or just after, if it's about 22 minutes past 3 UK time on Saturday, the 4th of December 2010, then you are indeed with us live. A very good afternoon to you. And you can join in live by email, as mentioned before, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, or by Skype. Our Skype username here is all one word, United Kingdom Radio. Skype username, United Kingdom Radio. If you don't have Skype, that's okay. We have a phone line as well. Our phone line is a local London number, 020 3287 1488. 020 3287 1488. Okay? If you feel the need to attack anyone on United Kingdom Radio, please let it be me. I do get very upset when people start attacking either the station as a whole or any of the other presenters. Come to me. Okay? Come to me, because I'm always happy to take in letters of complaint, because I could always be using some more toilet paper next door in the little room. Okay? So feel free to attack me at any time you want, but please leave the rest of us alone. Leave the rest of them alone. Mark says, you're so down to earth. You don't know the half of it, Mark. You really don't know the half of it. Now, I was going to mention... Now, what was I going to talk to you about? Oh, yes, I did tell you I went to the hospital last week. I go to the hospital a couple of times a year. I've got a little bit of a problem. It's all under control, not to worry about. Don't ask what it is, because I'm not going to tell you. But I have to go a couple of times a year where I just went... I have to give a little bit of samples, a little bit of blood there. Okay, then I go back week or two after that, 2 weeks at this time, and then they tell me what the results are, and then I have a come away from the hospital happy as a sandbag, or face on the ground. So that's where I was Tuesday, gave a little bit of blood, and go back in 2 weeks to find out what's going on there. All right, Ron's new car. Remember I told you Ronnie has a brand new car. My best mate Ronnie has it's beautiful. BMW it is. BMW Motorsport convertible. Now this means it's only 2 doors, and it's a beautiful car. It's as uncomfortable as anything in the back. It really is. I mean, you've got the 2 seats in the back. It's like sitting in economy in a plane. Your knees really are up the other person's bum in front of you. It's very, very uncomfortable indeed. Very uncomfortable in the back. But in the front, oh, it's beautiful. Red leather, it's got titanium silver. Very, very fast. And it's a lovely car. I'd love a car like that. I'd love a car like beautiful, beautiful car. But I don't, I never think it's a good idea to have a nice car. I mean, it attracts attention, including scratches and I mean, I've got a bog standard Toyota, a little Igo car that I've had now for 4 years, starting to look a bit tatty and worn, but I tell you what, that little car I've got has served me well, and I've no intention of getting rid of it. And it's a small car. It's not really worth anything. Couple of dents on there, couple of scratches. Who's going to be interested in that, you see? But when you have a nice flash car like my Ron's got, and I told him before he bought it, because where he lives, it's a little bit dodgy where he lives. And I've just got... I don't want to put a vex on it or anything like that. I've just got bad feelings. Bad feelings that things are going to happen to it while he's asleep at night. You know what people are like? They're jealous when they see something. That's why I won't have a nice car. Jealous people, and they start scratching it and all that. It's like, houses as well. I live in a bog standard ex-council house. I do. I couldn't have a nice house for fear of people coming round and thinking it's full of antiques, this, that and the other, which my house would not be full of antiques. I've no interest in items of value. Really none at all. I like things that are homely. I mean, I've got a clock behind me that I bought a couple of weeks ago. It's probably the most expensive thing in this room, apart from the computers and the sound equipment. But I've got no interest at all in antiques or paintings or valuable golds and jewellery. I've no interest in anything of value at all, really. I like homely things and things that do things like gadgets. But gadgets that are easy to work, unlike the iPhone when I first got it. But I'm okay with it now. Anyway, so that's his car. And as I say, I've been worried something's going to happen to it. Now, Ron, I would say he was... he'd kill me if... I hope he doesn't watch this show, actually. His driving worries me. It always has done. Because... when you're in the car with Ron and he's the driver, he is right. Do you understand what I'm saying? He's always right. There's been a couple of incidents where I've been in the car and he's wound down the window and started shouting at someone. And quite frankly, it's blooming embarrassing. It really is. He hates cyclists. Absolutely hates cycling drive. And I feel uncomfortable with him in the car now. But this is my best friend, who I would do anything for him, except give him money, of course. I'd do anything for him. But his driving, I don't like his driving at all. Don't like it. Anyway, he rang me up Friday and he says, "You never guess what." I said, "What?" He said, "I'm just going over London Bridge and a cyclist has just crashed into the side of me and there's already a little dent in the car. Brand new, beautiful silver BMW. And he's got a dent in there already from a cyclist." Apparently, a woman stepped off the pavement into the road. The cyclist swerved to avoid her and hit Ron's car. Now, he's got to be the most unlucky person in the world with cyclists, because this keeps happening. I don't understand. He's had scratches up the side of his car where cyclists have tried to squeeze in gaps, that sort of thing. And now he's got a dent. Now, Ron's not someone... I don't mind a dent on my car. When I first got my car, I got... what happened now? Oh, yeah, I got a little bit of a dent on the side. Can't remember how it happened. But I took it into Toyota and I said, could you give me a quote on repairing that dent? And this is 4 years ago. And it came out to something like £800. And I said, "Nah, forget it." He said, "Well, you're not going to have it done, mate." I said, "No, I'm not." I said, "It's a dent. Is it going to stop the car going fast or is it going to make it less economy?" No. He said, "Well, no." I said, "Well, I'm not going to have it done then. I'm not interested. Thank you very much. Goodbye." And over the period of 4 years, there's a couple of scratches here on the bumper and a couple of dents here. I mean, don't get me wrong. You've got to look for these. It's not one of those cars that you see driving down the road and it's absolutely falling apart. You have got to look. You've got to look for the dents in my car. The scratches on the front, the sort of scuffs on the bumper, you can see those. You can see that. But it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. I don't want to spend hundreds of pounds just for the sake that it's a little bit more pretty. On the other hand, he had to tell me about this dent, right? And I'm looking at this car. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it. He said, "It's there," and he pointed at it. And when I went up close, I could see it. Only a small dent. Nevertheless, it is there. He's going to have that repaired. He had the quote yesterday. £750 for this tiny little dent. Now, apparently, the bloke on the bike has agreed to pay for it. My guess is the bloke on the bike hasn't got a clue how much that dent is going to cost. £750 to repair a little dent in a car. I mean, why bother? Honestly, you've really got to look. You've really got to look for this dent. Another mate of mine, Justin, now he's got a convertible BMW as well. Again, a two-seater, again, uncomfortable in the back, but a beautiful machine. Beautiful car. You know, you get in these BMWs and all these alarms, beep, beep, all these bleeps and alarms start going off. Oh, I mean, so well made. You can't fault the car. But Justin, he's had a scratch on the car before and paid for a complete respray, you know, £1,000, just to get rid of a little scratch. Why worry? The other thing, I shouldn't laugh really, Justin came home one night and he's got alloy wheels, you know. His car was up on bricks, they'd nicked the wheels. Stop it. And he had wheel nuts. Ronnie's got alloy wheels as well. Anyway, I do hope nothing else happens to his car, but he does seem to be prone to accidents. One does wonder, is it the way he drives, you know? I don't know. That's not for me to say. Mark, you're the only one joining in today, Mark. Everyone else is very quiet. I can see you all there, but you're not joining in. Doesn't matter. Anyway, Mark says perhaps Ron needs a good car to be accepted. They say people get status and material stuff. Yes, you're right. Some people do like to have status through material stuff. I don't believe it. Why should you have to have a nice house or a nice car to be accepted? That's a load of old rubbish, isn't it? But there are people. like that. Now, 4 years ago, I had a beautiful Land Rover, one of the army types, but it was new. You know, it didn't look, wasn't in green army. I mean, but it was one of those beautiful cars, and I loved that car. But it wasn't a status thing to me. It wasn't a status thing to me at all. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got an Igo. I mean, that's certainly not a status thing. Having a Land Rover, it wasn't not a Discovery, not a Range Rover, a Defender Land Rover. You know, the square army-shaped ones. That's what I had before. And I had that for a few years. I loved that vehicle. But it was so expensive to run, and I just couldn't accept spending so much on a vehicle that basically I went up and down the motorway in. That's why I decided to trade it in for a little car. And I mean, this thing costs pennies to run in comparison to that Land Rover. But I loved it. I loved driving it. Was it a status symbol? No, not to me, it wasn't. It's just a car. Gets you from A to B. And I hear what you're saying about some people, they do need status symbols. I think Ron is a bit like that. He needs these status symbols. I don't know why. I think it's a bit of a waste to me. We've got a new listener. Hello to JKRPDM. Sorry, I don't know what your name is or where you are. It just says a new listener. So welcome along to the show, sir. Come put me on and let me know what your name is. Hello to Phil in Hoddesdon. I haven't heard from Phil for a while either. Hello, Phil, who says you've put me off the iPhone. Have I really? No, don't. If you've got patience, Phil, if you've got a bit of patience, it's taken me 2 days to learn how to use it. But I am a very, very impatient person where it comes to learning about things. I find great difficulty in learning from a book or a blooming help file or something like that. All right, Phil. Phil also says, does video Skype work on the iPhone? Do you know? I don't know. Do you want me to try it? Video Skype on the iPhone. Oh, I don't know about that. Let's fire up Skype and see what happens, because it's got a little camera on the front, isn't it? Can you hear that? Signing in on my iPhone. Online contacts. Where's that then? Contacts. Oh, there we are. Who's on then? Let's try. No, let's try. Who's going to have a camera? I don't know who's actually got a camera. Phil, is it Phil? Have you got a camera? Let's see what happens. Call, chat. No. No, I don't think you can, Phil. What's that do there? No, block. No, we don't want to block you, do we? No, I don't think you can. Don't think you can do that, Phil. No video calls on the Skype. That's a shame, isn't it? You know that will come, though. You'll be able to do video calls on these marvellous little gadgets soon, won't you? Hey, while you're walking down. It'll be a bit like Space 1999, when they walked around with those little things and they could see each other. Yes. Good morning to Simon. Good morning, Simon, on the Isle of Wight, who says, "Hi, Chris. Why does everyone shop on a Saturday? Just been to Morrison's and it's hell. Why do old people have to shop on a weekend? Why do the unemployed have to shop on a weekend? It makes me so cross. Cross, in fact, why does anyone have to shop when I do? Yours totally incensed. From the eye. We." I know what you mean. Now, I rarely go shopping on a Saturday, but I did today. I cycled up there because I was running a bit low on things. It's been a bit difficult moving around here. Oh, I think I'm going to have to turn that off now. Yeah, let me just turn this off, otherwise it'll keep beeping when it... is that button there, I think? 1 minute. That's it. Slide the power off. Yeah, I went up there today. Sainsbury's just up the road, and it's rammed in there. Absolutely rammed in there. Rammed in Sainsbury's. Yeah. Okie doke then. Email time, boys and girls. I've got so much I was going to talk to you about today, and we just haven't got the time, have we? There's quite a few emails waiting here at the moment. First of all, from Wayne. On the subject of NPower. You remember I've moved over. I've moved over from NPower, from Southern Electricity to NPower. I've got the N. And funnily enough, the thing came today. I'm saving myself about £160 a year, which is not to be sniffed at, is it? I think that's a lot of money, £160. And I've changed from Southern Electric to NPower, although it's going to take about 6 weeks to go through. If you want to try that yourself, it's quite easy. Go to uswitch.com. Okay, uswitch.com. And there, if you're in the UK, that is, of course, you may well be able to change your energy supplier and save a little bit of money like I did. I think £160 that was worth doing, wasn't it? That's a lot of money. That could be a holiday to Spain if you could get there. They're all on strike, aren't they? The Spanish. All the Spanish have gone on strike. The air traffic controllers on strike. Although I think they're going back tonight at 6 o'clock. Not quite sure about that. Yeah, so I've got this letter here from NPower. This is the first one. And it says, "Thank you for choosing NPower. Thank you for choosing us as your new gas and electricity supplier. With enclosed," and it goes on and tells you all about it. But then on the back it says, oh, I haven't read that bit actually. Oh, I don't know. It's just so complicated. You see, I tend to sign these things and I don't read them, which is really stupid. 5.4... I don't know what that is. 12.7. Where's that bit? I was going to just read you this. I can't find it now. Anyway, what it says is that the first in a year, the first amount of electricity and gas you use is at a slightly higher rate than it would be usually, and then once you've gone over so many units, then it comes down. And especially the gas, it says unit rate up to including 4,572 kilowatts a year, 5.446 pence a unit. Over 4,572, it's then 2.69 a year. Oh, I don't know. Just sign it and get on with the blooming thing. So I've gone to NPower and I've just got to sign that and send it off. So, Wayne, you know, it is worth you having a go to see anyone who might want to have a go at that. Go to uswitch.com. Quite easy to do it as well, okay? uswitch.com. Have a look if you're in the UK. Wayne says, "I listened to your programme on Thursday and you're right, NPower are doing some good spin on processes at the moment. In the summer, I saved over £200 going from British Gas to NPower. When I added it all up on the basic comparison sites, my unit prices for dual fuel gave a difference of just £5. However, NPower offer new customer discounts and gives £100 if you are brand new, and take that off the bill price when you pay by direct debit. P.S. I didn't like the black shirt last Saturday. I haven't got my black shirt on today. I've got a nice sort of bright orange and like a rather summery shirt to make us all a little bit happier in these miserable times of winter. Although today, I must say, Saturday the 4th of December 2010 it is today, we've actually got a little bit of a respite from the cold. It's not too bad today. It's probably only about 5 degrees out there, but it's a hell of a lot better than the -4 or 5 that it's been last week. It was awful, dreadful. Skype message coming in from Ian. It says I am. Oh, it doesn't say. Okay, from JK. I'll call you JK, all right? I'm from Germany. Hello, JK. My Skype name is nothing, just nothing special. I just reactivated my old account to participate here, so welcome back, JK. Don't be a stranger. Feel free to take part at any time. Phil says, I have got a camera, but I don't want to scare you. Oh, yeah, if you're going to call in, don't use your video camera because that can use up all the bandwidth sometimes, all right? You're quite welcome to call in if you want to do it any time. Our Skype username, once again, make sure it's live. If it's 20 minutes to 4 on Saturday, December the 4th, 2010, you are with us live. You can join in live by Skype. Skype username, United Kingdom Radio. Either use it to send messages or indeed call in. I like to talk to people on the phone, or phone number as well, 020 3287 1488 if you haven't got Skype, okay? 020 3287 1488, and that's a local London, UK number. Mark says, you were talking about bad help, re your orange phone. He says, try Sky. 15 times called them to change my email password and still doesn't work. Yeah, I've heard that. I have actually heard that Sky are some of the worst people for dealing with people on the phone. One of the reasons I haven't got Sky, incidentally. You hear these bad stories. I mean, I got to say, a lot of it's down to you, boys and girls. You know, if you're going to go with a company and you stay with them, even though they're treating you bad, you've only got yourself to blame. Why don't you move from Sky then? Go to someone else. Just a suggestion. Mark also says, you can video on the iPhone. Boyfriend has one, though I've no idea to use it. Well, I don't know how to use it. Certainly doesn't seem to work with Skype. There's no little video box button there, okay? Hello to James, who says, been listening to some of the shows on your archives on www.unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. He says, it certainly has been an experience watching some of the clips like the ones you did in Australia. It's also got me thinking, when did United Kingdom Talk start, and do the original listeners still keep in contact? Some of them do, yes, some of them do. Things have certainly changed since your first broadcast. What, you mean I look older? How rude are you? I hope things go well for the future of United Kingdom Radio, as it has given me many years of pleasure. That's from James. All right, James. He's in, let me think now. Are you in Bermondsey or South London somewhere? I think you are, aren't you? Okie doke. Let's try and do these in the order they're coming in. Millie. By the way, Millie, yes, Millie emailed us. She's on the move at the moment, Millie. She's doing a little bit of travelling to go and visit her uncle who's very sick, and she's going to see him. And she says, hi, Chris. We arrived safely in Bismarck, North Dakota last night. Next destination is Billings, Montana tomorrow. Love and hugs from Millie. Yes, safe journey, Millie. Hope it's not as cold there as it is here, dear. Don't forget the email address, boys and girls. The email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Hello to Jennifer. Jennifer writes, hello, Chris. How are you and all your viewers and listeners? We are all very well, Jennifer. Thank you very much for asking. And I don't know. If anyone's not well, then email in and I'll tell Jennifer, because she does take interest in what's going on here, okay? chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Jennifer says, I am well, but so busy. You're worse than me, Jennifer. I'm a busy person. Very, very busy. I've been meaning to write, but been slammed with stuff to do. I got a chuckle out of the email you read from my daughter Dallas. I never know when she writes in. She doesn't tell me these things. Oh, come on, you can't expect her. We have secret emails going to and from me and your daughter. We have, Jennifer, 10 emails a day each we write to each other, myself and your daughter. You'd be worried if I wasn't the other way, wouldn't you? I wanted to comment on a few things. Oh, by the way, talking about being the other way, I mean, I used to quite like the look of David Beckham, but he was on that. Did you see the England bidding for the World Cup? And I was looking at him. Oh, I'm sorry, he's starting to look a bit ragged round the edges, isn't he, dear? I think we need to move on to someone younger. Cristiano Ronaldo, I'm still desperately in love with him. I am. I'm afraid, David Beckham, I'm sorry, you've lost the looks now. Move over. Let's bring someone younger and newer in, please. Thank you very much. She says, I wanted to comment on a few things from the last couple of shows. The Tea Party here in America. I wasn't quite sure what the Tea Party in America was. Jennifer says, I heard Lisa comment saying it was a dangerous group. What's that about? Well, I don't know, you see, because I know nothing about the tea group. Was it the Tea Party? I know nothing. I can only go by what you're telling me. Jennifer says, I'm not going to criticise her view, but what I see this Tea Party is basically a Republican-based group that is completely against the Democrats and our president. They are not necessarily a third party, but a group that supports the Republican base, which is, I don't know any of this, you see, you're teaching me. They both admit that the Democrats and Republicans are fault with the way our government is running now. We are at a point where we are about to lose what we know as our America. I see their vision as a movement to get back to the grassroots that formed this great nation. You sound very patriotic, Jennifer. And do you know, I'm the same. I am the same as you, my darling. I don't go along with all this integration into Europe rubbish. I think the United Kingdom should just be the United Kingdom. France should be just France. Germany should be just Germany. Poland should be just... Do you know, I do not like this integration. All this joining on, and you've got those European blooming members of Parliament coining it in, aren't they? Coining it in, love. Coining in the money. Jennifer says, we have lost sight of so much and are much further in debt in the last 18 months during this presidency than all of the 8 years ruled by the last President Bush. Although I don't agree with everything Bush did, I really find myself disagreeing with just about everything Obama is doing. I find him bowing to other high political leaders of other countries a complete disgrace and apologising for everything that's happened in the past, a total disgrace of what we stand for. I've never really been politically aware in America, but this presidency has completely woken me up, and I keep up now with a lot more than I ever used to. So, interesting thing on the Tea Party there, and of course completely different to what a lovely Lisa in California wrote the other day. She says, on a different subject, as the animal, yes, there was a little animal, unfortunately, that I killed on the road a couple of weeks ago now, on the motorway. It just kind of appeared in front of me, and too late to do anything about it. It was either a fox, a rabbit, or a cat. My money's on a cat. I think it was a cat. And I hope... No, a cat is a cat. End of story. I was going to say, I hope it wasn't someone's pet, but a cat is a cat, whether it's a pet or... it's an animal. And I'm unhappy that happened, but there was nothing I can do about it. Jennifer says, as for the animal you killed at 70 miles an hour, I have killed one thing, an iguana. Do you remember a while back when I told you that during a cold snap we had here in Florida, a lot of them died? while I was driving down the road and a huge one, about 3 feet long, fell out of the tree I was about to drive under. Is that how long they get? I thought iguanas were little things about, I don't know, about 6 inch. Aren't they a bit like geckos? I got a lot of those in Australia. I love those geckos. Don't you love those? Oh, they're wonderful little things. And they cling to the ceiling, don't they? Completely harmless. Very good to have those because they eat the insects, don't they? I do love geckos. I'd love to have a few here running around my house on the ceilings, keeping us all entertained. Eh? I thought iguanas were quite small. I think they're very beautiful creatures, iguanas, actually. I do. Beautiful colours, aren't they? Anyway, she goes on to say, I was one 3 foot long, fell out of the tree I was about to drive under. I didn't have enough time to swerve out of the way as it dropped in front of me. I was driving a small Honda at the time, and it felt like I was running over a parking curb. Poor thing, she says. Oh, mustn't laugh at the death of little creatures. I don't particularly like them, but it's a life and I killed it. That is exactly how I feel, you see. Unfortunately, its carcass remained on the road for a good week, and I certainly wasn't going to move that out of the road. Anyway, I must be going. Have a wonderful day from Jennifer. Oh, see, I'm not the only one who runs over poor little animals that are trying to cross the road then, am I? Eh? Email address of the show, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, all right? I wanted to apologise. I think he's with us this afternoon. Publicly apologise to Mike Cullen, who is with us tonight at 9 o'clock UK time, because I forgot to put him in the schedule on Thursday night, and he ended up... I'm sorry, mate. He ended up talking to half an hour to himself, before anyone told him he wasn't actually on. So apologies to Mike. Very, very sorry, Mike, about that on Thursday. It won't happen again, sir. So much to remember running all this deer. It's a good job that Lee Mills does all the website. I have nothing to do with that website. Don't ask me about a website. I have no idea what's going on there. Here we are. Hello to Mark. Is this the Mark who's with us? Is this you, Mark? Did you send in an email last week? I think this is you. He says, "Hi Chris, as usual, I listen to your podcast. I love it when you have a rant, i.e. about the European ministers, and I tend to agree. They are thieving gits. Thieving gits. They get thousands and thousands of pounds for going out to... I don't know how we've got to this state. Do you remember that book, Animal Farm? It's just like that. These people at the top getting thousands and living a life of luxury where people like me and you are down there in the gutter wondering where the next meal is coming from. We are. On the subject of weight, Mark says, 5 years ago I was 22 stone, went on the Atkins diet, and in 8 months lost 10 stone. Is the Atkins diet, is that the one where you have to eat loads of meat? You see, I'm not a great meat eater. That's the problem there. My sister's on this diet at the moment, and that consists of eating chicken and fish and no vegetables, hardly any vegetables. I couldn't do that. I don't like eating meat. A very, very small amount I have. You know. I mean, for example, I'll buy perhaps a tin of that chili con carne from Sainsbury's up the road. There's not much meat in that. Probably about, one toe or something like that in there, chopped up into very small pieces. I mean, a cow would last me for years. It really would. Is that Atkins diet? Is that just a meat diet as well? I think, isn't it? Well, I lost that in 10 stone. Since then, I stay on the don't eat after 6 p.m. diet, and although I've put on a bit of weight now, 14 stone, it does work. Okay, fair enough. I must say, the last 2 days I've been a little bit naughty. I did have 2 bags of crisps and a packet of buttons on Wednesday when I got home, and last night on the way home, very naughty, I had 2 of those lovely Orange Club biscuits. No, it wasn't on the way home, and a bag of crisps, but they gave that to me while I was working in a place in Ealing, which was actually very quiet last night. I don't know where everyone was last night. It was ever so quiet, very quiet. Mark says, I got in the habit that I didn't want anything to eat, and not that I couldn't have them. Eh? That don't make sense. Let's try that again. Since then, I stay on the don't eat after 6 p.m. diet, and although I put on a bit of weight, it works. I got in the habit that I didn't want any, and not that I couldn't. Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, yeah. So what? So you eat what you want during the day, so you know when you've finished eating at 5 o'clock, you can still have what you want, albeit delayed until tomorrow morning. I understand that. Mark says, I want to lose more weight again, but the BF thinks I'm cuddly. Does he? Oh, I hate it. Don't they say that, don't they? Does that annoy you? When they say, oh, no, you're not fat, you're cuddly. No, you're not, you're fat. I've had that said to me. Oh, no, you're not really overweight, Chris. Yes, I am. I'm fat. That's it. Why don't they just say that? Don't try and make me feel better, because actually, it makes you feel worse, doesn't it? Or what about this one? Have you had this one? Right? You're not fat, you just need to tone up. Have you had that one? What a load of old rubbish they talk. What a load of old tosh. You're not fat, you need to tone up a bit. No, you're not. You're fat. That's it. That's where I am. That's about where I am, I think. He says, love listening to your trip to the cinema to see Harry Potter, which I thought was a load of rubbish. What was it called? The Deathly Hallows Part 1, rubbish. Very, very, very disappointed with that. Especially as the other films have been so damn good. And they really have. All the Harry Potter films, fantastic. The last one, load of rubbish. Nothing in there. No real story going on there, I'm afraid. I can imagine you in the best seats with popcorn and an itchy toe with Ron telling you to hush. Oh no, Ron don't sit next to me. Well, we get 2 seats. But he sits right on the other side. He must think I'm going to try and get off with him while we're watching the cinema. He sits right on the other side of the settee, he does. We get like 2 settees each in the cinema. It's wonderful. Mark says, the picture of you and Fag Ash Lil in a care home. We were talking about that a couple of shows ago. Fag Ash Lil wonders if her and myself will end up in the same care home. He says it was brilliant. You on the bingo and karaoke and her dipping her cheese sandwich in a pan full of lard. You can see it, can't you? We would have eating. Well, you can't make it while I'm playing bingo, but you mustn't make noise because they would kill you. The elderly ladies in care homes would kill you if you dared utter a single word during a game of bingo. I mean, it makes you laugh. The prize is only a packet of biscuits, isn't it? They go mad if you make noise at bingo. Whether the prize is a packet of biscuits or it's the link game £25,000 at the Granada or whoever runs the bingo halls here now, I don't know. He says, I love your chiming clock, and oh, you've been going on for ages not to spend money, and you paid for your iPhone when you only had a couple of weeks to go before you got it free. Now, there was a reason for that. Because I'm going to Australia, right? Now, I could have had it free on the 28th of December. I go to Australia on the 13th of January. And that period of time, it wouldn't have been long enough for me to learn it. And that's the truth of it. I'm looking forward to when I go away and go to Australia 30th of January. Ronnie is taking me to the airport and then he's moving in here for 3 weeks and supervising the decoration of some of my rooms. The living room, the kitchen and the spare bedroom. He's doing all that while I'm away. I'm paying him to do that. But that's just, how wonderful is that? When I come back, I'm coming back to a freshly painted house. Fantastic. I listen to Stephen Parker as I do all the podcast. What is he on? I don't know what planet Stephen Parker's on, but he's a good sort, Stephen, isn't he? Don't you think? He's very, very good, Stephen Parker. I don't know, he just goes from one subject to the other. But that's what we're about here at United Kingdom Radio. Okay? It's that we are a group of people, different personalities doing our own thing. That's what we are here. We're always looking out for new presenters. To be quite honest, there's nowhere near enough presenters on here. We need 4 times the amount. If anyone wants to have a go, then please send me an email and I'll put you in the right direction. I'll help you with whatever. Maybe you won't be able to do it. Maybe you will. Why don't you just have a go? Send us an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk and have a go if you want to. Right? We really need new presenters. It's a talk show, no music, okay? We need new talk presenters here. There's no money, I'm afraid. The station doesn't make money. It's just like, if you want to do it, the options there. Will it lead to other things? I don't know, probably not. But you might have a bit of fun doing it. Look at it like going fishing or playing football. Okay, Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. You were talking about your nephew and giving him a fake present for Christmas and putting money in a train. My Steve loves Pink Floyd, and I ordered for his Christmas present a box set of Bucks Fizz, who he hates with a passion. But I've replaced the Bucks Fizz CDs with all the Pink Floyd DVDs and a ticket for a premium seat at the next Sound Like a Pink Floyd concert. How fantastic. I don't suppose I'll get anything like that from anyone. Never mind. He says, the only concert I went with to Floyd, I was chatting up the barman and got a slap. Well, it serves you right. Oh, hang on, I'm running out of time here. Sorry, boys and girls, I've got to go now. Thank you very much for watching and listening this afternoon. Tom Harris is with you after the 4 o'clock news. Okay, I'm back with you live Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning UK time. Tuesday, 11 o'clock UK time. Email chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you on Tuesday. Okay.